You're excited about this episode, aren't you?
I'm very excited about this episode.
It's for people with boobs.
Oh, wait, wouldn't you be excited about this episode?
I am very much excited, but not what you might think. Hi, folks. Welcome to our podcast, Yeti
Walks into base camp.
Talking
Through.
Hiking.
We're a married couple that our first date was actually on a hike.
It was.
We through hiked the PCT, the TMP. Wesley through hiked without me on the Colorado Trail. Still a little sad about that.
She's salty.
And then we hiked the Arizona Trail just recently.
And we're probably going to do some more hikes this year.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
At least you need to go finish the Arizona Trail.
Yeah, so we're, we still got it in the world this year.
Yeah. But my name is Yeti Legs. What's your name?
I'm Base Camp.
We got those names on the PCT, and we felt it would be appropriate to have a little witty name for our podcast that involved our trail names.
Which I did ask other people when we were on the film set I was on this last week. I was like, when you hear this name, do you not think of sexually what this is?
Yeti walks in the
They were
base
like,
camp.
yeah. Now that I know that you're Base Camp and he's Yeti Legs, well, yeah. So I'm still garnering people's opinions on this because I think I'm right.
Well, at least adding the talking through hiking makes it less sexual.
We're talking while we're hiking.
Yeah, we have a very special guest today on our episode. I would say ginger, or at least pseudo ginger, wouldn't you?
Strawberry blonde.
Yeah. So we have Sarah with us. She is the founder of Symbiosis Gear. Now, Symbiosis Gear does largely backpacks for people with boobs. That's why this episode is all about that. We feel like the female, demographic is a little misrepresented in the outdoor world. So it's really nice to see companies catering more to the femme body.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't get a lot of love.
But it seems like you are.
Now we're starting to, because I think more females are going outside. Yay to the woman power of that, of feeling empowered in your own body and self and getting out there by yourself or with other people or friends. I think this is starting a new trajectory for females of knowing that there is hiking gear out there that is female centered. I think it's really starting to show something.
It is.
And I'm really excited about that. So Sarah, we're so glad you're joining us for this episode. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Yeah, you're totally right that, just to give you some stats about women outside, in fact, there are more women doing outdoor activities than men.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So 62.9% of the participants in outdoor recreation activities in 2023 were women.
What?
Yep.
Man, I just think, do you think Wild had anything to do with this?
Yes, I do.
Because as I'm thinking and my wheels are turning, I'm like, it empowers women seeing a woman by herself going out there, struggling, getting revelations when she felt stuck and depressed and had no answers. And I just wonder, as female, it's like sometimes I feel like we get stuck in our own heads and our own emotions. And sometimes getting outside and moving just helps free that space inside of us of realizing, oh, wow, I'm a beautiful human, or I am a powerful human, and I can do this. And if I can do this, I can do anything. So that's really cool to hear.
Yeah, totally. The stories are so important because, how many times do we hear that story on the news about woman went for a jog and bad stuff happened, when really, how many millions of women went for a jog and nothing bad happened?
Exactly.
It's not making the news.
Right.
And then the stories of women hiking, I think through social media, it's also helped that, women have their own Instagrams and are telling the stories the way we want to tell them.
Yeah.
Really makes it, counteracts those sensationalist news things that, disempower women. But it's also throughout history, we've had stories of, Hansel and Gretel and all these scary things that happen to you when you go into the woods. And so these newer stories of, delight and triumph and joy and success and physical fitness and all of this in the outdoors are really important.
Demystifying the woods. I like that.
Yeah. I think, Oh, we could talk so much about that, but we should
I
probably,
mean,
we can just ramble for 20 minutes about it.
I don't have a
love it.
statistic for this, but I feel much safer in the woods than I do walking a sidewalk by a main street or
We've
main
talked,
highway.
yes, we've talked about this so
much
much.
safer.
It's fascinating too, talking to people. We call it the cotton world. The world that is not through hiking is the cotton world. It is the world that is, it's made with all these things. And so it's
Creature comforts.
the creature comforts, yeah. But I just, whenever I talk to people in the cotton world, they're just like, wait, so are you not afraid of bears? A bear attacking? I'm like, dude, if you knew how scared they are of us, like, it's just so funny. I'm like, just try it. Just try
Yeah.
it. Like, if you hate it, okay, but you probably won't.
We'll tell folks what we do, and they're like, "So wait, like, where do you sleep?" And we're like, "In a tent outside." And they're like, "What?"
Like, wait, so
It's a foreign concept.
so like you're out there for 5 days. How do you get food?
You carry.
Wait, so then do you just go back into towns? Yeah. And do you go back out there? Yes. That's great.
The evolution of those conversations is always really fun to see.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Drink of the choice?
Yeah.
Well, guess first. What's your drink of the choice, Sarah?
I made myself a fancy whiskey cocktail. It has whiskey and bitters and
Ooh.
some candied cherries in it and a tiny bit of lemon juice.
Whoa.
What?
Are you like a mixologist over there?
Fancy?
I've never
I
made
just made
something
it up.
so exciting.
I just made it up. My usual drink is like whiskey on the rocks, a little bit of bitters, and the candied cherries, which are amazing.
Oh,
Okay.
Super simple to make. And then today I was like, oh, I'll put in a little bit of lemon too.
I like it.
All right.
All
That's
right.
exciting.
Well, we're drinking less mixed drinks over here, and
Our huge.
the huge, right?
The huge.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Cabernet Franc. I love Cab Francs. They're very, very delightful. It's a David Akiyoshi he is the wine maker, and that is the company of his winery is David Akiyoshi. Very good. Oh my gosh, it's in California. Where is it at? It's Clarksburg, California,
Clarksburg.
which is a really cute little tiny diamond in the rough vineyard area. They make really good wine there. Just the grapes, the soil content, everything's perfection. So Clarksburg's a good spot. If you're ever looking for, like, when you look at wine, look at regions and look at the towns, because that actually, like Lodi region, you're typically going to always get a good wine. You're never going to go wrong. So Clarksburg, good area.
Clarksburg. Well, there you go.
What are you drinking?
Less fun than both of y'all's. I'm drinking a non-alcoholic IPA by Athletic. I'm still trying to do the NA beer thing.
Well, you haven't have you even done an NA since we've been talking about, or you've started this a lot, like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I think it's on like one episode that's been released or will definitely be released by middle of May.
Yeah, Wesley's not drinking.
I'm trying.
I mean, that's okay. I support his decision. It's to see if it's actually helping his eye.
It's not by personal choice.
Well, no, that is a personal choice.
I guess it is, but it's not because I want to. It's because I'm trying to see if it'll better my physiology, my eye.
Your vision.
Yeah.
Is it actually helping?
Not really. That's why last night I let it slip and I had a glass of wine.
You're like, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
What made you think that alcohol was contributing to your vision?
So I had this issue last fall. My optic nerve behind my right eye swole up and I had obstructed vision. So I see like a bar in the middle of my right eye's vision. The bottom left is a bit of a gray haze. I went to a lot of optometrists. I went to a lot of neurologists. A lot of MRIs later. They have no conclusive diagnosis for what it is. But what I continue to hear is stay hydrated, don't overdrink, and exercise. So I'm trying those out, see if it helps. It hasn't helped in the 2 weeks that I've cut out alcohol. So it might be time to start drinking some more stouts.
or maybe you need longer.
Or yes,
maybe
or
a month to see what happens.
I know. I've heard a month is like the period where everything starts to actually take effect. So we'll see.
I did 5 months of no drinking last year.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, the first, like, if you're just used to drinking pretty often.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
an adjustment, but it felt really good. I
Yeah.
also did it for health reasons, and
Mm,
I think it does take quite a while for the body, if that's part of the issue, for
yeah.
the body to reset.
Did you feel like you became mentally sharper whenever you quit drinking? I feel like I have.
I mean, I wasn't drinking that much to begin with anyway, but
Yeah.
I guess I felt like more even keel,
Yeah.
because I often drink to kind of like calm my nerves or anxiety. And knowing that I didn't have that coming, I was like, oh, I better just like calm down. Don't
Yeah.
get so stressed out in the
Regulate
first
my-
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I usually do like a beer a night just to reward myself for a good day. And it's been hard getting used to that. So I've been doing the NAs. That way I still get the flavor and the carbonation.
The placebo effect.
Yeah, it's basically a placebo.
I've heard those athletic brewing are good.
Oh, they're garbage.
Yeah.
I hate them. What you should look into
It's golden.
is one called Groovy.
I thought it was golden.
That one was just the style of beer. It was a golden ale. But it's called Groovy, Gruvi, and they're out of Denver. Boy, those are some good NA beers. Yeah, it tastes like the real thing.
I can't do gluten, so I usually can't do beer at all anyway. So
Fair,
yeah.
fair.
Thus whiskey.
Yes.
That's the
Nice.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, should we get into this episode?
I think so.
This episode,
Um,
which is sponsored to you, by the way. We're going to call you our sponsor for this episode because you're here. Hi.
Is by.
Welcome, Symbiosis. Our episode sponsor, Symbiosis Gear, packs made for boobs and the female body. Sarah's been kind enough to give us a discount code for her flagship backpack. It's called the Aspen. The code is Yeti15, YETI15, to get 15% off of that flagship pack. Go on our website. You'll be able to find a link to the website in our show notes. Check out the pack and support some Colorado local.
And I fangirled, by the way, when I saw your pack at Party for the Planet. And that's where I feel like I've heard your name and I've heard Symbiosis Gear. I'd never really seen the pack before. And I saw the pack at Party for the Planet and I was like, what is this?
She was like, must bid.
I was freaking out because I was like, I have never found a female made backpack. Like the way it sits on your shoulders for a female is very important. The fact that so many of the backpacks go across the boobies and you don't want that. Like it's painful. It rubs. It's not comfortable. And it's hard to find the straps that will fit perfectly on a woman's body. And when you've got a backpack that's made for a man and you're wearing it as a woman, it is painful and it hurts like certain parts of your back and certain parts rub a certain way. And, we just sucked it up for years and we're like, well, this is the world we live in.
Yeah.
So yes, I saw the backpack and I was like, oh, the straps. And then I was like, oh my gosh, and it's so efficient. And the way you made it and designed it, it's lightweight. It's like so easy to, I don't know if it's just a woman's brain in this. I don't want to generalize between men and women in this, but I do think women in packing is a very specific way. And the way that you built the backpack, I was like, I would pack my world and the way I put my gear in a backpack like this. Like it's just efficiently done. The outside's efficiently done for exactly what you need and where you need it. And I love that. It's not a lot of like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of backpacks just have stuff and you put it exactly where I think it should go for a female. The way the water bottle holsters, are just right there.
Well, it's because you're a through hiker. You know what the needs are and what the needs aren't.
So anyway, all that being said, please go check out Symbiosis Gear if you're listening, especially the females in the group. Go check out the Aspen. And if you're looking for a backpack right now, or you're generally like, I really want to try this backpack out, you have this 15% discount.
There you go. Now, real quick, my question is, what makes it more female specific? Is it the S strap versus the J strap? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's part of it. And something people sometimes think, because the tagline is backpacking gear for people with boobs, that you have to have big boobs. It's so not about big boobs. Like, I don't have big boobs.
I got some boobs over here.
Yeah. And yeah. So it's also for narrower shoulders. Women tend to have narrower shoulders. So we have like less space between our neck and our shoulders. So I made the straps narrower so they fit better in that space. I also put them closer together at the top so they fit more comfortably there. And then, yes, there's the S curve, and plus the sternum strap hooks in anywhere along the shoulder straps. So you have like a ton of adjustability, like way more than I've seen in any other backpack. So that way, because it's not even just about boob size, it's like boob shape and like how high are they? How low are they? Like, do they stick out? Do they go to the sides? Like, so just building in that adjustability was really important.
I
love
think,
that.
Wesley's heard me bitch and moan about
I have.
the backpacks I've had in the past and how they like hang down and they hurt. And especially when you're doing a through hike, it's like
Yeah.
after a while, you just start. I'm like, man, I just have pain on one
Yeah.
side because I'm trying to overcompensate because it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah.
So it's really lovely to know that there is a backpack out there that actually can fit the smaller shoulder sizes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't believe the stories I hear from women, like this one lady told me about how she gets blisters in her armpits. And I was like,
What?
geez, that would deter me from hiking. Never mind a through hike,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blisters in the armpit.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
other
God.
people are like, yeah, I have like permanent nerve damage in my shoulders because of the backpacks and the way they fit. And, in my case, like on the PCT, I ditched my trekking poles because the straps were so wide and they sat over my rotator cuffs. I couldn't really move my arms. So I was like, well, I'm not using the trekking poles anyway because I can't move my arms. And then I found myself like hanging off the side of a mountain because I had slipped in the snow without trekking poles. So it's a real safety issue too, like safety and health. And it's not just like, women being whiny about things. Like this is a really important problem to fix.
Thank you. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh my God. Like, and also the safety of having a bigger pack and heavier pack in the winter time of a through hike. Like the backpack was so heavy and we're doing these very sketchy like crossings or traverses. And sometimes it would be so heavy that like, I felt like I was going to topple over, or if I lost my footing, I'm going straight down this mountain. Like, and just having to think about that and it just not being the weight not being proportioned correctly on my back. And it is very important to have a proper backpack for a through hike. It's so important. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah. So you're talking a little bit about your time on the PCT, and I guess a lot of the things you noticed needed to be changed about the backpacks you were seeing and the one that you had. In addition to the PCT, which also I want to know, did you finish it? What other big hikes have you done that have contributed to your experiences?
Yeah, my first through hike was the Vermont Long Trail. And I had a 6-pound backpack and I had my sleeping bag from the 90s that took up half the backpack.
God.
So I had a lot of stuff. And yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. It was really hard. This is the story of most people's first through hike, right? You mess up everything and somehow you love it anyway. You're like, why did I want to continue after that? But I met some other through hikers on that trail. Most people out there didn't have, the ultralight setup, or they're hiking in the boots and not the ultras or the sneakers. And so for a few guys I met out there who had that, I was like, you did how many miles? It just really captivated my imagination. And I had read Wild by that point. So I kind of knew of the PCT, but it seemed so distant and like I didn't know anybody personally who had done it. Then I met those folks on the trail and I was like, okay. So yeah, the next year I hiked the PCT and I did finish it. That was 2019, which was a pretty high snow year.
Yeah.
It was. Yep. So I went into the Sierra and I did one section in the snow and got out at Kearsarge Pass. And then I flipped up to the northern border and hiked the rest southbound.
Dude, I heard 2019 was a crazy year for snow.
It was crazy. I think 2022 was even crazier. So, I didn't have experience hiking on snow really. So that first section in the snow, like most of my friends that I met on trail lived on the West Coast. So they were just like, oh, I'm going to go home for a while and figure out what I'm going to do. I was living in Nebraska at the time, and I was like, going home is not an option. The simplest thing is just to keep walking. So I went in with a couple other people, and we could only do like 8 miles a day. And we were getting up super early in the morning. By 9 o'clock, it was like super slushy. Every river crossing was like so high. And you'd spend a lot of time looking for the safest place to cross. And it just felt really sketchy. On the final day, I fell through a snow bridge and in the dark at like 4 a.m. And I was like, I got to get out of here. Like, it was terrifying. I was okay, but like my warm layers all got soaked. So thank goodness I had friends there who lent me some layers. And then I had, I hiked in my long underwear, and it was like peak melt at that point. So it's kind of that weird window where like if we had gone in a week before, it might have even been easier, but there was more snow.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we went, it was melting so fast that it was, 8 miles a day, and I was running out of food because I didn't anticipate only going 8 miles a day. Then I flipped, and I was really glad I did that. But there was snow in Washington, and it rained like every single day for an entire month.
So that's brutal for Washington. I feel like it's so exposed there.
Did you hit the knife's edge with snow on it?
You mean on the Goat Rocks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So funny thing about the Goat Rocks, I was hiking with a guy from the Pacific Northwest, and he had done the PCT before, but he had never seen the Goat Rocks on a clear day. So we decided to like spend an extra day in town because it was clouded over and stuff. Second day, we go out, and what do you know? We get up there. It's completely socked in. Completely socked in. We couldn't see a thing.
No.
Like nothing. So that was Goat Rocks. There was snow up there. There's a high route and a low route there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, the high route's going to have more snow. Let's take the low route. The low route was very snowy and sketchy. I was kind of glad I couldn't see down because the clouds were so high. Otherwise, I would have been even more scared than I was. But yeah, I'll have to go back someday and really wait for that clear day.
Our experience was very cruisy.
Well, we were already in Washington in what, August?
August.
Yeah. So it wasn't raining at all.
But there was still snow.
There was still snow even then, a little bit.
I can imagine August and the Goat Rocks is better than June.
Yeah, you should definitely go up there and just do a fun little excursion. It's one of the most beautiful places, I think.
Yeah.
It's in my top 5 maybe of places all over the world, I would say.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I think it is actually. It's because you can see Helena, you can see Adams and Rainier all in the same place, and it's just like, whoa, it's one of those, But I think you should. It's a memorable place.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures, and I was like, oh, that's what I missed.
I know. I'm so sorry. That sucks.
You're like, dang it.
That's right. The joy of through hiking is that right there. It's like, damn it. Everybody talks about this place, and I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
What else did you do after the PCT? Did you kind of sink into the cotton world for a bit, or did you keep through hiking?
So yeah, after the PCT was the pandemic. So that was kind of put a wrench in a lot of plans for me and everybody. 2021, I hiked the Colorado Trail in August. Last year, I did half of the PCT.
Nice. Okay, what section did you do?
I started on the border of Mexico and the US in New Mexico, and I hiked up to Steamboat Springs.
Nice. Oh, the Continental Divide Trail. Sorry, I thought you said the Pacific Crest Trail. My brain went to a completely, I was like, oh, you did it again. No, the CDT. Okay.
I thought she said PCT too.
Oh, sorry. CDT.
No.
CDT.
The Continental Divide. Right. Oh, sweet.
I was
So
like,
you did the
Steamboat.
CDT.
That's like 2 hours.
Yeah, I was
north
like,
of us.
wait. Yeah, I know. That's awesome. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Are you planning on then finishing the remaining half?
When I started it last year, I was pretty torn because I had, just launched this product, and I'm so passionate about the business. And I was like, what am I doing out here walking through a cow pasture in the middle of nowhere? Like, is this the best choice of what to do with my time?
I feel like we all ask that question when we're through hiking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this year I'm excited to do a lot of events and really focus on the business. Maybe we'll do like steamboat to lander or something like that, do some sections. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think that, yeah, the business is the priority this year. And I live up in Leadville, so I'm sure I'll do some good backpacking close to home now. But yeah, in terms of future through hikes, when I was at CDT Days recently, there was a presentation by the head of the GDTA, the Great Divide Trail in
Wow.
Canada. Oh my God. Like,
Isn't it beautiful?
Dude.
so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been thinking about that one too this year. Yeah.
If we can get up into Canada.
If they'll let us in.
Oh my
They'll let
God.
us in.
I don't blame them at all, but I'm like, I'm not one of them. I love you.
Dude, I didn't know you were out of Leadville. We're ambassadors for Galena.
Do you know Galena Mountain Projects?
Of course.
David and Justin,
Love.
I haven't met them personally yet, but I know their shop.
You
They're
should-
awesome.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Well, hey, I don't know if we're planning on doing it, but if we end up doing Trail Magic
Mm.
over at Timberline Trailhead, maybe we'll
This
see if you want
summer.
to come.
Yeah. We did
Yeah.
it last year. We invited Justin and Dave, and we had a few other people join us, and we did like food, and they gave away some Galena gear.
A lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So yeah,
Cool.
we'll see if we can
Yeah.
coordinate something this year.
Yeah, that would be fun.
What is your trail name? I'm assuming you have one.
My trail name is Mellow, and I usually write it with an exclamation point afterward just to be cheesy and fun.
So how did you get Mellow?
I got the trail name Mellow toward the beginning of the PCT, and I did a pack shakedown because I was like, this pack is so uncomfortable. I want to go lighter and lighter. The guy I did the pack shakedown with was like, you're doing great for this point in the trail. You just need to mellow out. And so that's how I got the trail name.
Mellow. I love that. That's awesome.
Did anyone try and give you another trail name before that? I mean, that's pretty early on.
You're the first person who's asked me that. And yes, on the Vermont Long Trail, somebody tried to give me a trail name that I hated. And I was like, no effing way. We are not doing this. So I was hiking with my dog, and he gave us the trail names Picasso and Stick because in my previous career, I was an artist and art professor. And I was, I had left my job. I was on the trail to kind of process this career transition and all of this. And I was like, well, one, I don't want to bring anything from art into this experience. Like, no, thank you. And two, Picasso was the biggest misogynist anybody has ever met, in case you didn't know. And I was like, I am not taking that guy's name. No way.
Like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You're like, I'd rather be called Stick.
Oh my God.
Anything.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny.
What did that lady try and call me on the PCT? Is the Deluminator? Is that what it was?
The Deluminator. Because she
From-
said
from Harry
that
Potter?
you light the way for everyone.
This was literally on the first day of hiking.
It's kind of funny though. You did do that for everyone. Like, people always look to us on the trail for like where we were going to camp and who was going to pick us up and
Yeah.
who was going to take us back to trail and who's going to take us into town and where was the water sources. You could have taken Deluminator.
We had that sucker on lockdown, boy. She sat there and planned out the whole thing for 6 months.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I won't do that again. It took all the fun out of it. But I've learned though on the Arizona Trail, I do the same thing in my head anyway. It doesn't matter.
It's true.
Even if I didn't plan it, I'm still becoming a producer in my head. I'm like, wait, well, we have to wake up at 4:00 if we want to do this, and it's going to take us this amount of time. And then we wanted to get into camp by this time, and then we got to get into town by this day. So that means we have to do about X amount of miles. Like,
Yeah.
I just looked at him on the AZT. And I was like, babe, I think I've just learned this is who I am. You just have to love me and accept who I am.
She just does it in the tent the night before the next day instead of 6 months before.
I don't know which one's better or worse.
I'm just doing that all day long. Like, I'm going at this pace, and that means if I, keep going at this pace, I'll get to such and such.
Oh my
yeah.
God, you do this too?
Also spreadsheets like crazy. Oh my God. But my first through hike, I had like food, and I analyzed the food like calories per ounce, and then price basically price per ounce. Like,
Oh my God.
what is the cheapest way to get calories in your body when you're through hiking?
I don't know. What is it?
Peanut butter.
I mean, we definitely took peanut butter in jars.
How many calories per
butter.
ounce?
I don't have it memorized. It's in the spreadsheet somewhere. It's a lot.
Boy,
Oh my gosh. This is a woman after my own heart.
it's
Listen,
a miracle I survived on the Colorado Trail.
Listen,
'Cause
well,
I
it's
was just out there.
It's probably because I was taking care of you half of the time.
She was.
I like went and met him for half of the trail, and I like gave him food and was shopping for him.
Yeah. Very grateful for you.
Wow.
I like to have a plan, but I also think it's important to just like let it go when you get
Yeah.
out there. Like once you let go of the
Yeah.
outside world, the cotton world that you guys call it, and you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'm just like an animal out here walking, and whatever happens, happens. It's going to be fine.
No,
Like,
that's where I have to let go.
It is. Once you can start smelling your armpits, you have to let go. Okay. So you're a cottage company that makes outdoor gear for people with boobs. That's kind of like your slogan,
Woohoo.
which is amazing. But I want to talk about that for a little bit. We discussed it a little bit already, but let's go a bit deeper if we can. How did you discover the need for backpacks for folks with boobs? And how did that evolve into creating your own business as opposed to you just making one for yourself?
It only occurred to me recently that I could have just made one for myself and been done.
You could have.
Whoops.
You're in
That's
it.
funny.
You're in it now.
Now you're in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went through 3 packs on the PCT because it was just rough. I met a guy toward the beginning who made his own backpacks, and I was like, what? You can make your own backpacks? I've never heard of this.
Like that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a thing. What? So after the trail, I asked him if he would make me a backpack, and he kept just not making me a backpack. And I was like, what the hell, dude? Finally, he gave me his pattern, and I had somebody, like, I know how to sew, but I was a little intimidated by like technical fabrics and stuff. So I had somebody make one, and then I cut it apart and I redid the straps and redid a bunch of stuff on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was the first thing. At that point, I had decided I wanted to start my own company because I just felt like there was a need, and I sent out a survey, and in a week I got like over 200 responses from women who were like, yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And I went to work at REI as well. And, a big part of the thing is there are a few big brands who make women specific packs that are, what they are. Lots of bells and whistles, kind of over designed, overbuilt, in my opinion. But on the ultralight side and in the cottage industry, there really are very few. So like on the PCT, I was just getting lighter and lighter. So I wanted a light pack, and I'd see some dude coming down the trail and I'm like, oh, that looks like a cool pack. What is that? I get up close and it'd be like a fixed sternum strap, like doesn't slide up and down at all. And I was like, why did they design it that way? Like that eliminates 50% of the population. Like, I mean, maybe a woman can buy it and wear it and it works, but you just don't know till you get it. Are you going to buy it online and then try it and send it back? That's a pain in the butt, like, so I emailed that company, which shall remain unnamed, and asked
I want to
them,
know all these companies after we're done recording, because then we can really talk about it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what a small industry it was until I got in there, because I did make a rant video about this, and then found out that a lot of the companies like Symbiosis Gear are actually really small, even the ones that have been around for a long time. Like Tarp Tent, they still work out of their garage. Like
Wow.
a lot of the companies that we really love and know are really small. So I don't want to badmouth anybody. There's a lot of room for expansion in terms of inclusivity of women's bodies, but these companies do make exceptional products on a really tight margins and small teams and so on. So have a lot of respect for them.
Very, very wonderfully politically good answer.
I mean,
That's the PC response.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. No, I mean, also these folks have become my friends. Like when I go to events,
for
we're
sure.
all there together, and people share resources. And a lot of these folks have been really helpful. Like, oh yeah, this person can help you with such and such. And here's so-and-so's email address. And
That's awesome.
it's really different. I didn't know people would be so supportive in the industry. And most of them are dudes. Like that was the other thing. I went to PCT days in 2023 with a prototype. Every single booth that sold actual equipment, so tents, backpacks, sleeping bags, is a company owned by men, run by men, designed products by men. And I was like, oh, that's why there's a problem here.
Yeah.
Like, there need to be just more women designers, more women business
they
owners.
just don't know what they don't know. And I almost wonder, not to interrupt you, but I do want to go on a little tangent here. Not that men don't want women to be a part, I think is what I have learned in the film industry, is that they don't realize, like they don't know what they don't know. It's like they don't know that women are struggling with their backpacks, or they're struggling with, a tent system, or they're struggling with a sleeping bag in a very specific way or design. Like, men don't realize that we have a different body shape. I think they may realize it, but
I realize it.
You realize it because you're married to me and you hear me bitch about it. But I don't know. I am curious about this. Of like, I don't think they don't want women to be involved. It's more.
It's not
like
at the forefront of their mind when designing stuff.
It's like in film. It's like a woman has to put herself out there and go, "Yo, I see what you're doing, and I just have to be direct and assertive with you and communicate and say, hey, this is probably not how we should do this. Here's the problem and here's the solution." And unfortunately, that is just the world we live in. I can't just come into a room and instantly be accepted. I have to earn my right into that room, but I have to come up with a solution to earn my right. I don't know if the gear world is similar in that way, because you're saying something. I'm going, interesting. My wheels are turning now, because I'm like, okay, it's not that men wouldn't want women to be in the room. It's that, do women assert themselves enough to say, hey, there's a problem here and here's a solution and here's a way we can help women that want to have this product, and it could sell really well.
Yeah, I think it's totally a mix, of like, men who are tapped in and know about inclusivity can reach out and do more and try to include women and be like, hey, what do you think? Oh, look, we don't have any women on our team. Maybe we should bring someone in. Look at our marketing. It's all a bunch of 6'4" white dudes. Okay, we know you make backpacks for 6'4" white dudes. Good for you. I'm not going to shop with you. It's also bad business. Like, that's the thing that really gets me. Is like, if more than half the people out there doing outdoor activities are women, like, why aren't these bigger brands doing more? They're missing out.
You've missed a whole market.
Which, of course, I'm happy to take that market.
You're like, please give me all your business, women.
Yeah, I will say I have one store that's owned by a woman that I work with that carries the gear, and a second one coming on board soon. All the other stores have male buyers and male owners who have been really receptive and really excited because they realize there's this issue and they want to support a woman-owned business. They want to support women getting out on trail. And in the industry too, like I said, there's like many guys who've been incredibly supportive. So
it also makes me wonder if women just haven't been speaking out about this. Like, I never did. I talked to him about it and I complained on trail about it. But like, I'm not making posts. I'm not talking to women designers or men designers and giving feedback to these backpacking companies and going, hey, your backpack hurts and I hate it. Like, but I don't know what else to do because there's no other options. I wonder how many women, now that you're saying this, of like how many women you've contacted and said, is this a good idea? And just having the overwhelming response of yes, because this is new for all of us. I think it's new for women to just come into this world and be like, yeah, we're badasses at this too. And we love it. And we're going to keep through hiking and we will spend a shit ton of money to make sure that our bodies are healthy and happy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that, one thing I've learned is it's not that new, but like here, there's a local bookstore and they carry a bunch of books about women, mountain women and stuff. And the clothes these women were wearing, it's like high heel leather lace up boots and skirts and hats. And women have been out there for a long time with improper gear, like not good gear forever, And I think it is hard to speak out though. Like, when do you want to get on Instagram and be like, oh yeah, I have blisters under my armpits? Like, ew. Or like, my boobs don't feel good, like whatever. Like that's kind of, it's so
Mm.
personal, and
Right.
when the standard is the white male body, like we just kind of want to get on with stuff and like do our hike and, succeed. Like
We
I
just
don't
suck it
really,
up. Yeah.
yeah, I don't really want to draw a lot of attention to, any female specific things I'm having. I just kind of want the things to be resolved so I can do what I want to do in my life.
I just hope someone else does it. Yeah. Like what you're
Yeah.
doing.
I think you're right that a lot of the time we just try to resolve things quietly because there's some shame around it maybe, or some stigma, or you think you're the only one, or there's no other option. So you just, like you said, you suck it up and you just get on with it.
Yeah. I think, we make fun of in our culture this idea of the Karen. And it's like, I think as females, we don't want to be that person who is the Karen and is pointing out things and complaining. And it's not even complaining. It's just, I'm starting to realize like it's giving feedback to companies. And now you're saying it's like these men want to be supportive and they want, like, they're nice and they're open and learning and growing. Maybe it comes down to maybe more women giving more feedback of saying, hey, I really wish you had a backpack that was like this, or I wish you had a sleeping bag that was like this. An interesting idea.
Yeah, I know that most backpack companies don't test their gear on women. That's a thing that to me is a no-brainer. But when I started designing backpacks for women, I was like, oh, this is complicated. No wonder they don't want to do it.
Because we're more complicated.
Yeah, if you think about the variables, like a man's body in general, the variables are like torso length and shoulder width. That's basically it. And they're kind of proportional for the most part. And for women, you've got all these other things of like waist size, hip size, breast size, shoulder width, height, torso length. And it could be any possible combination, right? So you could have like a tall woman with really small boobs and really wide hips, or you could have a short woman with really big boobs and a really small waist. The combinations just go on and on. That's when it gets really complicated to design for women because we're all so different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we discussed what makes the Aspen boob friendly, especially with the S and the adjustables. Are there any other packs that you're creating right now or that are in your wheelhouse as well? What makes them boob friendly? Is there anything else you want to talk or touch in on that?
In terms of future products, I get asked a lot about a backpack with a frame and a hip belt, load lifters, bigger volume. So for more of the traditional backpacker, even somebody a little on the lighter side, but not ultra light, ready to go frameless. So I'm working on that now. Probably won't come out until 2026, but who knows? Maybe I'll get things moving quickly. So that one is definitely, I know there's a need for it, like a big need. And I'm excited to see what I can do for that.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
Especially, winter. That's a thing. It's like the winter, you need more. You need a bigger backpack.
And it all gets heavier.
And having a backpack that would be a female friendly, and especially with so much weight, holding, would be awesome. So it's exciting.
Also, when you have to carry a bear can, I mean, I would like to have a hip belt and a frame if I'm carrying a bear can. I do know somebody who carried a bear can with the Aspen for the entire CDT last year.
Whoa.
Yep. And there's somebody else doing it now with a bear can. I'm like,
what?
Personally, I would not do that, but go ahead. Like,
Dude,
glad it's working for you.
I know.
Yeah. And they're both loving it. So
that's awesome.
Good for them. Yeah. But yeah, so that one, and then day pack is the other one. There's a lot of women, as we talked about, who are not thru hikers and not ready to go backpacking, but many more who go outside for day hikes. And I'd love to support, and also us, like we day hike, we take backpacks to work or to on the airplane, whatever. So that's the other product I'm working on.
Oh, that's exciting. Like a 14ers pack, or yes, I love that traveling pack. Yes, that's exciting.
I'll tell you what she wants. She wants a fanny pack with a pass-through sleeve on the back of it, so she can put her hip belt through it.
Hyperlight's the only one that makes it, I think.
Yeah, the Versa and the vice versa.
I just love a fanny pack. Even when we're just backpacking like a 2-day, I love a fanny pack on the hip belt. I can't find a pass through other than the Versa Hyperlights.
Mhm.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, people have asked me about pouches for the Aspen has more of a waist belt for most folks. It hits at the waist.
Mhm.
So yeah, accessories that and like a different kind of pockets you can put on the shoulder straps and so on. Also on my to-do list.
Yeah.
I love that idea of something that could be a fanny pack or go on your waist or hip belt.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it is like having the strap. And so I could take it into town with me when we were in town, but then it became my little pouch. And it's just so accessible. So I didn't need the side hips at all, which I didn't like. I don't like the side hips as a female. Like they're just weird in weird spaces. And sometimes they rub on my arms. And so the fanny pack was great or is great because then I don't feel any of that. And it's just right there. And I can just go bink.
What do you mean by side hips?
Well, the hips, the side pockets that are connected to backpacks.
Or the hip belt pockets, you mean?
The hip belt pockets. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
okay.
sometimes they're in positions where they rub on my hands when I'm using my trekking poles. So I prefer now I've learned not to have them so that I can have what?
I'm thinking of whenever we hiked the Arizona Trail this last winter, her hip belt pockets were so puffed up with gear. Every time she would walk, it would rub against her sleeve, and we have like these leave layers, LEVE. It's a cottage company.
They're incredible.
But anyways, it's a Polar Tech material, and every time she would walk, she would hit that hip pocket, and she started to wear holes in the inside of her arms.
I was so mad. I just couldn't avoid it. It's just like so stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've learned I don't think I like them. I think I like the fanny pack pass through, but then we're on the AZT. I can't find one anywhere. There's none. And so I have to get a fanny pack that just goes around my hips and then rubs on my back. And I'm like, damn it. I'm like, why?
Yeah, that's so interesting because that's something as I've been designing this, it's going to be called the Sycamore, the bigger pack with the hip belt. They're all named after trees. And problems I've had with packs too is like sometimes the hip belt pockets hit way back. Like I had one where I got the medium size hip belt. I'm assuming it was a medium for men. And the pockets were like back, like against the frame of the backpack. And I was like, this is almost useless to have them way back there, which is kind of different than what you're saying, where they're rubbing against your arms. So I like that idea of having it more of a modular thing where people can buy it and add it on if they like that and put it wherever they want it, especially if it slides on and off. I think that's a great idea.
Love that. Yeah. Okay, here's a question. We have been not even gently talking about politics, but I feel like we are tiptoeing ourselves tiptoeing. We are tipping our toes in the water of our environmental corner when it comes to politics because we want people to be informed about what's happening with our environment and where we're at, right now. But we do want to know if you've experienced any struggles with the new tariffs. And I know China's kicked in. We don't know summer first. Like it's just all kind of confusing, convoluted. But have you experienced any of that? If so, explaining to people listening what that means for a cottage company. Like, what are you experiencing,
Well, I'll back up a little bit and say when I started the company, I wanted to manufacture in the US. I had this vision. I was like, oh, let's make it in the US and we could have women sewing components at home and then compile them together, assemble it in a central location. And I was like, whoa, that is a lot of infrastructure to figure out. Quality control is going to be really difficult. But I still asked around about US-based companies. Prices were astronomical. I wasn't finding amazing quality either. I got a recommendation for a factory in Vietnam, and the quality they produced was amazing. Prices were fair. Their employees making a living wage. So I was like, well, let's go with it. I was lucky. Like I know there are other established backpack companies that actually use the same factory. So I got really lucky right out of the gate using an offshore company that was great. Their minimum order quantities are large. So that's one of the disadvantages of working with an offshore company. But compared to China, Vietnam is a lot less. So I had to order 500 backpacks If I were to order less, I would pay double per unit. So I thought, compared to China, where the minimum order quantity was like 5,000, I was like, 500 is nothing. Little did I know, as a new brand selling a very specific product, 500 backpacks would take a while to sell. But the good and bad of that is now with tariffs happening, by the way, there were tariffs before. I already paid 17% import tariffs on the products I have. We weren't importing for free, plus we had to pay shipping costs and all of this. Now I think, hey, it's great I have this inventory on hand. I'm not going to have to raise prices on this product because it's already on hand, which is fantastic. I am talking with a local company in Denver. So since then, I found a local woman-owned company in Denver that makes backpacks. So we're going to do some prototyping this summer. Really excited about that. And they also have that model that I talked about where women take the pieces, sew them at home, and then they bring them into their factory and assemble it there. So I love how like family friendly that is, that women can be sewing, men can too. I think it's mostly women, but people can be sewing while their kids are at school, or even kids are at home, like playing around, whatever. They don't have to find daycare and send their kids somewhere else to do their work and earn an income. So I think that's a fantastic model. So we're going to try working with them. As you probably know, the current proposal is 46% tariffs on products from Vietnam, which is way less than China.
Oh, yeah.
However, some of the components I use, the clips and the toggles and all of the plastic parts that go on the webbing and so on, I'm guessing they're made in China. I'm actually not really sure. So the way it works is I tell the factory what I want and they sourced it. The fabric I used was made in Vietnam, so that wouldn't change, although I'm looking at different fabric options for future products, maybe some made in the US, TBD on that. The short of the long is if these tariffs go through, my production cost will double to manufacture in Vietnam.
Okay, now for practical purposes, so say your backpack is X amount of money. Now it's double. Is that what's going to happen? Can you give more of like
because someone has to absorb that cost.
Right. What does that mean for you and for people buying your pack?
So I should also back up to say that, the cost of working with the US company here in Denver is probably about double per unit. My current plan is that I will absorb the cost. The margins are good enough that I think I can do that. Of course, obviously I make less profit, but if I can work with the US company and do a smaller run, then maybe it comes out in the wash.
Okay.
I'm prototyping the small aspen with a factory in Vietnam because they already did the aspen, so they know how to do it. They have the patterns, they have fabric on hand. It's really just a few small changes. So I probably will pay their fee, double per unit to do that there because it makes a lot of sense and they do fantastic work. But the Sycamore, I think we're going to work with the local factory on that.
That's exciting.
I'll say a little bit more about other companies are in a lot worse situation than me. So for example, some companies have, a purchase order from big stores that the stores or even small stores are put in an order for a product at a certain price. So then the company, like our brands, we have to pay the factory up front to manufacture and for the shipping and for the tariffs. So it makes it almost impossible to honor that purchase order price. If production costs double, triple, quadruple, you can't sell it for the same price. Other companies are in a much tighter situation than I am. I feel really lucky that I have all this inventory on hand, that I have a couple of options with a local manufacturing, and I don't have purchase orders where I've guaranteed stores a certain price on products that haven't been made yet. A lot of that is just like luck of the draw and timing.
Yeah, for sure. I work with the North Face on some shoots, some production stuff, and I mean, just hearing them going through what they're even going through is just so stressful. I love the people I get to work with on set, that work with the North Face, and they're such good people and they really care and they're trying. And to hear what they're going through on that scale of they've already bought in to all these stores and now these tariffs and they're just in a pickle. They're like, we don't know what we're going to do. Like, I don't even think they have an answer yet for what's happening.
I think that's one of the hardest things too. The word uncertainty I'm hearing a lot. And because we don't know, it's like, oh, the tariffs are going to be this. No, they're going to be paused for this amount of time. Oh, maybe they're going to be something else. It would help everybody if there was a clear decision.
We just have an answer at this point. Yeah. Like, stop being the boyfriend that's in and out and in and out and in and out. Like, just make a damn choice now so we can just move on with our lives and either choose you or not choose you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing is, like, sure, we'd all love to manufacture in the US, but some of the issues are labor. Like, where we live in Colorado, how many people can afford to work in a factory and pay the housing costs here? No one.
Right. No. It's we can't. We just can't. Yeah, we have no longer set ourselves up for that in this country. We are different now. Yeah, for sure.
And then the other aspect is training. And like, if you listen to How I Built This, did an episode with the founder of Osprey, and he was based his manufacturing Cortez for a long time, and he was really resistant to moving their manufacturing to Vietnam. He waited until after all the other big companies had done it. But what he found was his workers were aging out, and the next generation wasn't interested in doing this work. They weren't trained to do it. Yeah, and our education system promotes college. Like, everyone's supposed to go to college, which, as a former college professor, I totally disagree with. Like, I think skilled trades are really important and needed, and a lot of people could have great careers in skilled trades, and we should encourage folks who are interested in that to do that. And not everybody should go to college and rack up all the student debt. And like, why? Like, if you want to have this intellectual experience, great, go do it. But otherwise, learn something that you love doing and that can help people.
Yes, film. Like, I never went to school for film, and now I am a producer and an assistant director, and I make a shit ton of money. I never went to school for that. I went to school for musical theater. Like, I don't even use my degree. And it's like, I never had to go to college. I was just pressured into going to college back in early 2000s, because that is what you're supposed to do. And I tell my nephew, who's 16, all the time, I'm like, dude, you do not have to go to college, but find something that you love, find your passions, and follow that. Yeah. Because it will lead you to something. I totally agree. I resonate with that.
But don't forget to pick up a book every once in a while still.
Learn how to think critically, please. Yeah. Learn how to think critically.
Yeah. Right. Be educated in common sense and understanding cultures.
I'm the one with 3 degrees and 160,000 in student loan debt. So
yeah. I mean, I love learning, and that's part of what's fun about being an entrepreneur, is like, you are learning all the time. But, when I was a college professor, I thought I would be around people who loved learning too. And most of my students, I asked them, like, what are your goals for this class, this semester, your time at the school? And they were like, I want to get an A, I want to graduate, I want to get married, have a house, and have kids. And I was like, you don't need a degree for any of that, especially in Nebraska where I was teaching. Like, just go do it, Yeah. I love college. I, obviously spent a long time there and love learning, but, I have so many friends who went to college and then became like electricians or some other career they didn't need to go to college for. So to go back to the tariffs thing, like, we're in a situation where we don't have the labor force.
Yeah.
The cost of living is too high to pay people to do these kind of jobs. We don't have, for the most part, factories that are set up to do it. So I think if the government was really serious about bringing manufacturing back to the US, they would need to subsidize manufacturing here, give grants to people who wanted to start companies that, start manufacturing companies, and grants for people to get the education to do these jobs. But it's like this very sudden change of, all of a sudden, we're going to make it really difficult for products to get made abroad with no alternative solution is really problematic.
And take away the people who actually would do it for the amount. Sorry, not to get too political, but
no.
we're going to take away all the people who actually will they'll make that kind of money. They're like, yeah, I'll do it for $12 an hour and make it here in the US. It's like, well, who do we have? White people. I'm talking to myself right now. Like, you're not going to pay me $12 an hour to make something at this point in my life. Or I'm curious about 22-year-olds. Are they going to want to make $12, $15 an hour?
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
you make more to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just such a sticky situation in that.
I think it will be really interesting to see how it plays out, because there's two positive things in my mind. One is, will it make us consume less? Like, we know we consume way too much for the environment. Like, it's not good. We've got this ocean full of plastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I know as an entrepreneur in a capitalist system, I shouldn't say this, but like, we should buy less stuff. We should buy less stuff. So, all that stuff people are buying on Amazon, if it's suddenly double or triple the price, we're going to think twice about buying it. And do we really need it? I think, of course, there's like broader economic repercussions of like, are we looking at a recession, a depression? Like, what's going to happen here? But, like, who doesn't want US manufacturing? Like, if it were feasible, we'd all go for it. It's just, we live in a global economy now. So I don't think we can roll that back in any way that actually works.
Right. Without becoming an enemy of everyone in the world, which is kind of happening now. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to travel. I'm just going to say I'm Canadian at this point. Like, I'm Canadian. You'll never know the difference.
Yeah. I mean, also just like causing a major economic decline here. Like, if all these local, small businesses make up the majority of business in the United States. And if a huge percentage of them go out of business, which is likely if these tariffs actually happen, we're looking at a lot of people losing jobs. We're looking at a really big recession, if not a depression.
Well, look, I mean, we were going to hike the CDT this year, and we decided it was not the best time because we have no idea where our economy is going to be.
Yeah, we were pretty nervous about it financially. We were like, we don't want to come back not having a lot of money. And then we get it into a depression and we have no money. And it's like, well, shit, that was a bad choice of our use of time this year. So we're like, well, let's just pay off debt and save, because we have this feeling something is coming. Because we all, I think, feel it too, and not to say too much about this, but definitely there's some pretty big companies I know that have already cut like 450 jobs. I mean, corporate, like there's a lot of companies. Like I have friends and the jobs I just got off of, they're telling us they've lost so many hundreds of people are getting cut and fired. I mean, people that have been 10 years in the company, like it's just, it's now becoming a reordering of all these bigger companies realizing this is about to go south. We need to fire now before we really get into it. It's just, like UPS, I think, had a big firing just recently. It's just sad. It's really painful.
I don't know about y'all, but I would love to see the price difference on Amazon products. You know what? This is the only thing Jeff Bezos has ever done that I liked. Showing the price difference due to tariffs.
Oh yeah, he's saying he's going to show it. He's going to show it. Yeah. Which good.
I would love to see that.
I'll support that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I was on a call with the Outdoor Industry Association, and somebody there said we should put another line on our receipts that's called the T-tax and show exactly.
Absolutely. I agree, though.
Yeah, because, that's the thing I think a lot of people don't know is up till now, brands like me and bigger brands, we just absorb the tariff costs. Like, nobody knows I paid 17% tariff. And if I had done it in China, it would have been like, I think 45% tariff.
Oh, really?
Already. Yeah. It's not like we were bringing stuff in for free, and consumers don't know.
That's fascinating because it sounds like the way, anyway, I'm getting into politics if I keep talking, but it's just like I don't think I ever realized we already had tariffs in place. I know we had the free trade between Canada and Mexico and us, but I didn't realize all of this actually. So this is very informative to know that we were already paying this out, but now it's increasing even more. I do think it's helpful to have a tariff tax on the receipt to know, like, hey, I want to give to you, the creator. I want to give to you, the company. I'm investing in you, but to know that this is how much we're paying. in tax. Like that's
I'm curious if your T tax stands for tariff tax or something else. Tax.
Boston Tea Party.
I think she was referring to something else.
I'm thinking of someone's name.
Oh, T-Tax. Oh my God. Please, can we please have this happen? I would love that. It just would be amazing.
Before we get into a 2-hour episode here, and this has been great, honestly.
Yeah,
It's been
this
very
is so
helpful
enjoyable.
because we focus more on trees and wildlife and nature than actual economy and tariffs
But this is
and how that's
helpful.
affecting the outdoor industry.
Yeah.
But on the topic of females, the female body, all this jazz, you two, what are some other things that you have found to be difficulties as female thru hikers, and what have you've done to come up with solutions for these difficulties?
I guess the obvious one is periods on trail. Our
Oh my
periods
God.
are not fun anytime, and on trail less fun.
They're just maxified is what they are. Yeah.
Maxified.
Maxified. Didn't even do a play on words.
Yeah, I'm curious how many women just like take a birth control pill like continuously so they don't have a period when they're on trail, because that seems like a really smart solution if that feels right for your body. I used a Diva cup on the PCT and I found that worked pretty well, except that I was always nervous about my hands being so dirty and like, getting up in there. I was like, oh, is this a good idea? I don't know. And I came back and I told my doctor, I was like, yeah, hand sanitizer. But her eyes were just like, what?
She's like,
What did you do?
Did you get a UTI? Like what? Yeah. I actually had birth control the whole time we did the PCT. I was on birth control, but I still had a period and it sucked. So I took pads. I'm a pad person. It's because
She carried the weight.
I was sexually abused when I was a kid. I can't do tampons or a Diva cup. Like I literally can't do it. I can't put a foreign object into my body. It's a whole thing that I've had to work through. And so pads are the only thing I can do. But it sucks because I have to pack them out and they're heavy. They're so heavy.
Oh, gosh.
So
Well,
I don't look forward to it.
thank you for sharing that and being so vulnerable with us. I'm sorry that you went through that and you have these long-term consequences.
Thank you. Yeah, it's man. Again, sexual abuse is something like that. Even on trail, it's something that can impact you long term. And yeah, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one thing, I mean, just to give a shout out to another woman-owned brand is Your Yuckies. They make these black corn-based plastic Ziploc bags with a pocket in them.
What?
Specifically for periods. So you put the clean stuff in the outside pocket and the dirty stuff inside, and you don't have to see it again, which is such a relief.
Hold on. What is this company called?
They're called Your Yuckies. It's a mother-daughter based company in Vermont. They do a lot of period education at like girls' summer camps and things like that. Personally, I think the bags are useful for anybody who poops outside because you can put your wipes or your hand sani, toilet paper in the outside pocket, the dirty stuff on the inside. We sell them on our website on symbiosisgear.com. But yeah, they're cool. And they're better for the environment than the regular Ziplocs too.
Oh my god!
Wait, are they actually waterproof? Because we've gotten biodegradable Ziplocs from Target, and they are not waterproof.
I haven't had any issues with them, and I've carried them in the outside pocket of my pack quite a bit. So,
oh my gosh, I need to get some of these. Seriously, this is amazing.
They're like human wag bags.
But it is a thing though. Like I have to have Ziploc bags when I have my period on trail, and I have to think about that. And I like to separate that from my poop bag. Because, we take our toilet paper and our wet wipes and we put it in a bag versus digging a hole and putting it in the hole. So we pack that out as well. But I always separate, here's my period bag, here's my poop bag, here's my clean bag.
Look, and how many times have you been out on trail and you see like one tiny little like balled up piece of toilet paper and you're like, that was a female who used that to wipe themselves and they just threw it there. And that's where
how do you know it's a female?
I don't know many guys who wipe their willies after they pee.
They don't.
They usually just like flick and hang. But this is where I was going to give a shout out to Mare with Kula Cloth.
I was going to say Kula Cloth. I'm obsessed with Kula Cloth.
Mare's cloths are awesome.
Obsession.
Yeah.
We're selling those on our website now too, because
I love that.
I'm so thankful for that. Honestly, having to have toilet paper on trail is so annoying when you're peeing. It's like, to have the Kula Cloth has been a game changer for me.
Yeah.
I love that thing. Do you use the pee tunnel thing?
What is it called?
I know somebody who has a company called Pee Style. There's a few different ones of like urinary, what do they call it? Urination devices. So you can pee standing up. Pee Style is one that I know. And it's like, I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm like, I should try this, but I honestly, it feels good on my back to squat. Like I like that. And of course I don't like having my butt showing, but usually there aren't that many people around.
Because I talk about how I get pee on my Crocs every night, or like the pee on the shoes or my pants, like because it sprays back up, and I'm like,
that's true.
I told Wes, I was like, you just have to live with this. Like this is just gonna happen. It's just what it is.
The first time I watched her pee in the woods, I was like, that looks very inefficient.
I'm like, you try to have a clit and see how this goes. I'm like, you have no room to talk. You can stand up and whip it out. You don't have to squat. You don't have to pull your pants down.
Yeah. Well, you watch a female dog pees the same way, like I felt such solidarity with my dog when I watched her.
I know. Lopa does the same thing. She squats too. She doesn't lift her leg up. She's like cute little lady over there.
Yeah.
Sweet girl.
But you're right. The splash on the shoes is a thing, but looking for the right kind of surface to pee on is important. Like if it's going to be like, it's a nice pine needle duff and it can just like soak in there.
Oh, that's
splashing.
And the soil.
Yeah. You can't always find that, but
no, but it is so nice when you can. What about, have you ever had the issue where you like have to shit or pee so bad when you're on, like it hits you all of a sudden and you're like, oh my God, I have to go right now. Like, or I'm going to pee in my pants or I'm going to shit my pants. Like, has that ever happened to you? Because that happens to me all the time.
Yes and no. Like most people say like, you're not really a thru hiker till you shit your pants. I have not shit my pants. So thank goodness for that.
Either.
Okay, good. Yeah, there have been some inconvenient moments. So here's my routine in the morning. I wake up, I make my coffee and my oatmeal. Like that's cooking while I'm packing my stuff up in my tent and then eat that. And then like pretty much right after all that warm, mushy stuff hits my belly, I gotta go. Number 2.
Wow. Okay.
So somebody taught me a trick. Dig your hole the night before so that it's ready to go. Of course, there's also the putt, where you do your poop, dig the hole next to it, and then you shove it into the hole.
Yeah.
So that can be helpful in one of those situations too.
Oh yeah. We share our trowel. So
I thought you were gonna say you shared a poop hole. I was like, oh that's too much.
That's no, that I don't think we could. We would never do that.
No, yeah, we went back to back.
Never. Oh my God. That would just be a whole nother level of, that isn't even couple goals. That's just like.
That cannot be
too much. That's too much.
No, we only had this happen one time, I think, on trail, but we shared the same trowel and we both had to poop at the same time. And so he's like, you go take it and then just throw it to me when you're done.
And she didn't. No, she walked it over to me.
To him.
And I was like, don't look.
But it was the best. It was the most beautiful poop I've ever seen. I was like, holy shit. It looked like an ice cream soft serve. Like I've never seen anyone have such a healthy poop before. Like, not that I've ever seen anyone's poop before. Maybe it's just, I don't have healthy poops, I don't think. So like,
I've had those and I'm like, I kind of want to take a picture of this.
Right, the soft serve.
I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, that means you have a healthy gut. That's what people say. So I looked at it and I was like, babe, you have such a healthy gut. And he's like,
it looks like the emoji.
He was like, stop staring at my poop. That's probably the most intimate moment we've ever shared.
Let me just cover it in peace, okay?
Takeaway is you do not recommend sharing a trowel with your partner.
I mean, you still do it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because it's weight,
Mm-hmm.
It's he takes it, so I don't have to take it. shaves a little bit of weight off my back.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Or I'll get a rock and dig, if I think next time I'll just get a rock and dig if we have to poop at the same time.
I don't know if it's all, but some sleeping bags have more filling in certain areas, like the toe box and the behind. And I started getting female sleeping bags just because of that.
Are you a cold sleeper?
No, I just like to be warm.
Yeah, he's really not a cold sleeper at all.
Yeah, I can use like a 20-degree bag in most environments, and I'll either just mummy up or I'll just use it as a blanket and unzip the whole thing. So that's why I get the female ones.
I think it was your feet. He felt cheated when he found this out. He was like, "What?
I did.
The female have an extra toe box feather down thing? Like what?"
I was
And
like,
he
you
was,
have more filling in your toe box for the
Yes.
same price?
he was
What?
very upset about this.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I use a, quote unquote gender neutral, which means men's
Yeah.
quilt, but I went down to like a 10-degree for the CDT and I was really happy with it because women do sleep colder. But I'm curious what you guys think are the women specific products we need, because that's always the question of like, what really doesn't, do we need a women specific tent? Would it be different? Women's
Yes.
specific sleeping pad?
Women specific tent would be different. Yes.
What would that look like,
I
though?
think it would be a higher roof because I wear my hair in a bun, and whenever I sit up, it hits the tent typically. So I want headroom. I'd prefer to have less space than if I'm by myself. Like I don't care about a wide girth. I'd care about I want a height.
You want more height.
I want more height, and then I want a place to organize all my stuff on the outside vestibule. So I want more vestibule space is what I would prefer with the double wall.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
I didn't think about the bun thing.
Yeah, because my bun always hits the tent, and I'm like, I'm getting cricks in my neck because my hair is so. That's a lot.
Boy,
Yeah.
that's one thing we loved about the Jolly Gear sun shirts is he's got a bun hole
I love that.
or a ponytail hole in the back of the hood. I'm like, that's clutch because I have long hair too, and it's nice.
I only used it a few times.
Have you seen the Kula cloth buff with the braid holes? That's pretty cool.
Wait, no, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, she's got the hole so you can put the braids through it.
What?
Yeah.
Because usually when you have long hair and you wear a buff, either your hair has to come up and over or it's, against your neck and really scratchy inside your buff.
Yeah.
So she has some holes so you can stick your braids out of the buff.
I love that. Oh, I love that.
Did you know that she is I don't know what her title is, but she handles the social media for
Granite Gear.
Granite Gear now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Kula Cloth founder, Mare.
Mare, yeah. She's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else as a female. For a sleeping bag, okay, my butt gets really, really cold. They do not put enough filling in the butt for a female, in my opinion.
Well, if you sleep on your back,
I sleep on my side.
It doesn't matter how much filling there is.
But I sleep on my side.
Me too.
Yeah, I want filling.
I feel like I want that middle part of the bag to be wider because I sleep on my side too. And like obviously have a bigger butt than most men. So I want, sometimes when I turn on my side with a quilt, I'll get like the gaps in the back and stuff.
Have you tried the Nemo sleeping bags, the spoon shapes?
Not yet.
They have like a bigger
But
waist.
they're heavy. They're heavier, though.
That's the problem. Yeah.
See, I want a lightweight but happy.
It's time for y'all to reach out to Enlightened Equipment. Come on.
Maybe I'll see them at trail days. I'll ask them.
Yes. I don't know if there's anything else I can think of that would be women specific other than backpack, tent, sleeping bag.
I think maybe sleeping pad, also would like it a little wider in the hips and butt area.
Yes,
and it doesn't need to be as long. Like most of them, I'm like, I don't need a 6.5 foot length.
Right.
But I also don't want just the torso length, which are kind of the two options.
No, I agree about that too. Cause it's like, I want the regular size. I want the lightest pad I can get. But it's the butt that always needs all the help it can get.
Yeah, I've always thought it was funny how women's butts gets colder because we have more fat on them. You would think like fat's insulating.
Right.
I found this with running in the winter too, and I would run with, a group of men and women, and the women were always like, "Oh my God, my butt is so cold." And I'm like, why has nobody invented like running tights with the insulated part on your butt?
Yeah.
Like the puffy, like a little puffy jacket. Just on your butt. Like I don't need it on the front. I don't need it anywhere else. just on the butt.
Yes, Wesley would be like all the time. I'd be like, "My God, your butt for all the fat you have in there. Why is it so
She'll
cold?"
back it into me. I'm like, what's wrong
I'm
with
like,
that
"It's free."
thing?
I literally sometimes I will grab his hand that's like super warm. I'd be like, "Just touch my butt because it's so like I just need a warming. I need some warmth."
I'm like, this is counterintuitive to what I would have believed.
You know what they need instead of like those hot hands things, like hot butts. Like you can
Uh-huh.
just
Hot
like
butts. I put
stick
those
them
in my
right on your
butt.
butt.
Yes, I do stick them in my butt when we're in because we'll do winter camping and hiking all the time, and I'm like freezing over here. Even in a -40, my butt is still cold. I don't get it.
It's not hot hands, it's your butt buddy. There you go.
Butt buddy.
Whoever wants to
We
take
should
that.
So they're just hot hands, but call them butt buddies.
Yeah.
Hot buns.
Hot buns. Oh my
Hot
God.
buns.
Hot buns. That's it right there.
Oh my God.
Wow. Well, is there anything else you'd like to discuss? Or actually, is there any advice you have for female hikers that you'd like to throw into the universe?
Well, I think, the big question for, I don't know your audience if they're already through hikers, but for folks who are like, wow, I don't know, I could never do a through hike. It's like, start small. Like,
Mhm.
walk for 30 minutes away from your car, and then next time you do 45 minutes and keep building up that muscle for doing things that are a little scary. And on the scary side, like you guys were talking about, of like, it's really not bears that are dangerous. It's like human males that are the most dangerous animal.
Mhm.
One, there are way more of them in the city. And also, my belief is the ones who want to do some kind of nefarious actions are going to go where there's more people because it's just easier. So most of the men I've met in the wilderness are wonderful humans. So hopefully that puts some of your fears at bay. I'm not saying there aren't any risks out there, but for the most part, it's a much higher risk walking down the street in a city at night than it is walking on a trail in the middle of nowhere at night. It's just like understanding what those risks are out there and knowing most animals are really predictable. They just want to protect themselves, their babies, and have enough food to eat. So if you're not threatening any of those, then you're most likely not in danger.
Wow, that's good.
That's really good. I love that.
I do love that. Environmental corner. The only environmental corner topic I want to talk about is what are you as a cottage company doing to try and reduce your carbon footprint as much as you can?
One thing is to design the packs so they can be repaired and that they last a long time. So, like, especially as I'm designing new products, to think about, like, what does the field repair look like? If this piece breaks when you're in the middle of nowhere, do you maybe have something in your backpack that could work to fix it? Can you get something when you get to the next town that could suffice? So that's part of it. Repairability. I have a couple of repair partners that can repair packs. Just making them durable in the first place so they don't break is important. This product is not as eco-friendly as I would like in terms of fabrics and so on, but I'm definitely looking toward that for future products. I have purchased a bunch of the same fabric that's still on hand, so you'll probably see some more products with the same fabric. But going forward, eco-friendly fabric is important. And there's a lot. Like, I went to this functional fabric fair in Portland recently, and there are all kinds of fabrics they're doing for apparel that are made out of like cacao bean shells and
What?
yeah. I don't think that's stuff you can make a backpack out of, but like part of my thing is, educating myself so I know what the options are and trying to, stay in front of that as well. So definitely a learning curve there. I'm not where I want to be in terms of sustainability, but the durability is really important. And compared to a lot of other ultralight packs on the market, my pack is really, really durable.
Sure.
So I feel good about that. And yeah, like I said, there's a lot to learn about, like, eventually the pack is going to wear out. Then what? What happens to it?
Yeah.
And, someone said to me recently, like, well, a lot of the fabric has this waterproofing ability on it, but your pack isn't fully waterproof. So people are going to use a liner anyway or a pack cover. What if you just skip the waterproof ability altogether and just it's not waterproof? That type of fabric is going to break down a lot easier at the end of its life cycle. So things to think about. There's a lot of
Definitely.
learning. There's a lot of new technology and new fabrics coming out. And then of course there's the ocean transportation. If we do end up going with local manufacturing, it saves on all of that as well. So it's on my mind. Progress, not perfection, is what's happening here.
Oh, that's really good to hear. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like if I were an entrepreneur and I started my own business, I would just be trying to figure out how to make the product. And then once I've sorted that out, then you figure out how to fine tune and optimize and become more eco-friendly through that process. I say that and all I do is record audio.
Well, I think also, how do you make money
Yeah.
too? I mean, you've got to make a profit to keep the
Yeah.
business going. And that's also another piece. I know that's hard because it's
Mhm.
eco-friendly, I feel like is more expensive
Yeah.
than products that are not going to be as eco-durable or eco-friendly. I don't know. That's been my
Yeah.
experience, I think, or my observation.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked to other companies on our podcast before, and even they expressed that it is not easy to find affordable plastics produced in the U.S. So that's why they outsource internationally.
Yeah, all plastics come from China.
Pretty much China
Pretty much.
patent that.
Yeah.
Unless you have some niche like recyclable plastic made in the USA, which is not going to be sustainable.
Totally. But one of the things I'm looking at with future designs is replacing some of the plastic parts with metal, because that's also lasts longer, less likely to break, all of that kind of stuff. And metal comes from the ground too. Like,
Sure.
up here in Leadville, we've got a big mine. It's really upsetting to see half of the side of a mountain ripped off and the tailing ponds and all this stuff. But we all consume things. We all have screens and phones and cars and plastic parts, and everything we use comes from the ground unless it's paper or it's grown in some way. So it's just something to think about as we buy products. Like, basically buy less is, I think, something that is, I mean, I know I shouldn't say that as like, please buy my backpack, but buy less, overall. Like, I think it's something we need to think about consistently of, the reduce, reuse, recycle is that reduce component is underemphasized a lot. So I mean, we're all responsible for the environment and through what we buy and what we use and what we do.
I feel like if you buy smarter, you'll end up buying less because you've already chosen a smarter, more educated option anyways. Or if you can go without.
Yeah, totally.
But buy the Alpine from Symbiosis.
The Aspen.
Damn it. No, buy the Aspen from Symbiosis.
Like, no, it's the Aspen, which I love that you name all of your backpacks trees. And the Aspen, that's so perfect. Oh, it's so great. Because if you know the Aspen, it's just so perfect. Because the Aspen is like, it's one of my favorite trees.
It's the largest living organism. I mean,
I named it the Aspen because it's light and nimble like aspens, but also because aspens, as you mentioned, live in community. And when I started this business, I was like, well, I don't want to do this by myself. Like, this is a community endeavor. If the universe wants it, the universe will show up and support it, like you guys. And, like the Aspen, it's just like it's a whole community of beings making this thing happen. That's why I named it the Aspen.
I love it.
I love that.
If y'all didn't know this, in Colorado, we have Populus tremuloides, which is the quaking aspen. And the quaking aspen, it does reproduce sexually, but largely, whenever you see, like, say in the fall, a giant pop of yellow trees in the middle of like an evergreen forest, that's usually one individual, usually, not always, but one individual will spit out suckers, so little baby trees from its roots as the roots spread out. And so it just makes copies of itself. And that is how it basically just keeps growing and spreading on the mountainsides. I love that.
If you have it in your backyard, you're screwed.
Watch out for your foundation.
You should be looking at that if they decided to plant those in your neighborhood.
Because those suckers spread quick. Just like the word of the aspen from Symbiosis Gear will spread quick.
That's what I was going to say. It feels like a good symbol of what it will become.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah, it's been such a pleasure having you on the podcast. And
thanks for being here.
I know. I love a woman-empowered cottage company outdoor gear brand. This is so exciting to me. And all of you females on this podcast listener database, will you please go onto their website and check out her gear and check out anything that is women focused on that, and just support any way you can, even if it's getting a cool cloth or the Yoriyakis, which I'm totally getting now. But and the backpacks too. Like, I think we as women, especially, to be able to support other women in the field is just such a huge thing. And so, not to make that not men focused either, but come on, ladies, let's support our people, support our women as best we can, and help her make a successful company and grow as a business. So
behind every great man's a great woman.
that's what they say.
And behind every
Behind
great
every
woman.
woman.
Behind
There's
every
another
woman.
woman.
I was gonna say behind every woman there is a great man, because he does support me.
I was gonna say behind every great woman is also a dog.
Is also is a husky who is loving her well.
Honestly,
No,
yeah.
I'm kidding. No, you support me, babe. You
Thank
do.
you. I
You support
appreciate
me
you.
very well. I hope men also can take this and hear what women experience on trail, because it is a different experience, and also what we experience in the brand world too. So I hope they can take this and hear it and go, oh, okay.
Look, if a man can hear this and not care or hear it, they either
He's a
are
real man.
insecure in who they are, or they are completely out of touch with their emotions and their empathetic
If
side.
they can't hear it, oh, I thought you said if they can hear it.
No, if they can't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So be empathetic and listen to women's needs, men.
that's right.
The Aspen works for men too, if they have like a narrow frame,
Yeah.
kind of the slim fit dudes.
Oh,
Totally works for them. Yeah.
okay.
Love that.
Here we go. Because there are men that do have slim fits and are smaller on the smaller scale that need a backpack that's not like for a burly man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There we go, guys. There we go.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know, on the CT, I used a fast pack from Ultimate Direction. It was a 40 liter, and it only had it didn't have a hip belt. It had a little waist strap. You said earlier that someone's using your pack for the bear can. I don't know how they're doing it,
How?
but you know what? All the power to them for it.
Seriously.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I guess we should wrap up.
We should wrap up.
Yeah, it's late.
Sarah, thanks again so much for being on our podcast. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone listening to this episode. Thanks for continuing to support us in our podcast.
Yeah, and if you have any responses, questions, anything at all, we love hearing from you guys. Seriously, it truly makes my whole day when I hear from a podcast listener. You can email us at yetiwalksintobasecamp@gmail.com, or you can DM us at theginger_and_thejoy, or our Yeti Walks Into Basecamp social media Instagram.
Yeah, which has like 150 followers.
Keep going over there instead of
Go to
our
that
other
one.
one,
Go to that one.
which is where everybody goes to. But yeah, if you would just like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. We love hearing your feedback. If there's anything you have questions for Sarah about with Symbiosis Gear, you can shoot them our way and we'll send them to her. But we really appreciate you guys, and we are so thankful that you listen.
Yeah. And thanks to our editors, Charlotte and AJ. Not sure which of you will be editing this episode yet, but regardless, we love you both.
Thank
And
you.
also thanks to the Fire Went Sloss for our intro and our outro track. That's called Appalachian Trail. And they've actually got some new music they've released recently. So go check them out.
And Sarah, we always do a tagline at the end. How do you want to set this one up?
Do you trust me?
Oh, no, not in this. I don't.
Okay.
You
Well-
never lands the plane well.
I always do. So if we're out in the woods and the three of us are all hiking together and we only have one trowel to share amongst the three of us, and we all have to
How
poop at the
does this
same
have
time,
to do happy trails?
and we all have to poop at the same
no,
time,
no.
one of us is going to get the trowel, but we're all going to go our separate ways. And as we do so,
Oh my
we're
God.
going to say, Happy
Happy
trails.
Trails.
That is the worst.